Good evening. This is Thomas Simpson with Afro Solo TV here. We're here live at SF Live in San Francisco. Thank you for joining us. We're here for another really wonderful interview. As you know, Afro Solo TV is part of Afro Solo Theater Company. Our goal is to showcase, present, and give voice to the African American as well as the African diaspora experience of people here living in the United States. Today we have a very special guest. Her name is Raja. She's originally from New York, but she's been living in the Bay Area for a number of years. We'll find out a little bit about how long she's been here and what actually brought her here, and a little bit about her movement into the music arena. So, welcome, Raja. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
That's great. It's very nice to have you here. You are from New York?
Upstate New York, Buffalo.
Okay. Yeah. How long have you lived out here?
I've lived in San Francisco about 34 years.
Wow.
About 34 years.
Okay. Well, are you a New Yorker or are you a San Franciscan?
Buffalonian.
You're a Buffalonian.
Buffalonian.
Now, you still have parents or people back there?
Yes, my mom. Actually, yes, my dad used to live in L.A., but he has since moved back to Buffalo, and my mother lives there. She still lives in the same house. Still has the same phone number she's had since I went to kindergarten.
Wow.
And my oldest, my daughter lives there. And she's in college, but she loves living there. And I have a lot of family members who still live there.
In terms of your art, you're a jazz vocalist. Do you remember the first time you heard someone perform jazz?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I think my mom always loved listening to Nat King Cole.
Yes.
And my dad enjoyed listening to jazz. So maybe that's, I can't say exactly what it was he would listen to, but my dad is a kind of person who could hear a note and, a few bars of a song on a record, and he could tell you, oh, that's so-and-so. And so he's always been a real jazz buff. My mom is more into spiritual music.
When you say spiritual, you're talking about black gospel?
Gospel.
The Mahalia Jacksons?
Hymnals.
Hymnals?
And things like,
Okay,
yeah.
wonderful. So, in terms of your getting involved with jazz now, is it something new for you, or did you sing as you were growing up?
I've always sung. Music has always been a part of me. I grew up in the Baptist church, and I'm not Baptist now, but I grew up in the Baptist church, and I have my family members who are ministers. They sing from the pulpit.
Yes.
I grew up in the choir, and in high school, and in junior high school, I always sang in the chorus there. So I've always loved singing. My mother used to always sing around the house, and my mother actually could whistle too, but I can't whistle. But I did inherit her ability, her that singing gene. So for me, I like to think that I came out of the womb singing.
Wow.
That's the way I feel about it. It wasn't until as I got older that I really felt that jazz was my niche.
In terms of people who you feel inspired you, in terms of your musical career, do any particular artists come to mind?
I've always, listening to Nat King Cole. I also love Johnny Hartman, and then Ella Fitzgerald and Sarah Vaughan and Nancy Wilson. Those have always been my favorites. Now I also love Cassandra Wilson. I really like her style, and Nina Freeland.
What inspires you to sing now?
Singing to me is that it's my therapy. That's the way I look at it. And there was a moment in my life when I wasn't very comfortable with myself, but I found for me, singing it just helped calm me. And it became my friend and my lover and everything to me. It was also something that as I was raising my children, I was able to help calm them and sing songs to them.
Do you know, in terms of how you decided jazz as opposed to pop, as opposed to spirituals, in terms of what your focus would be? How did you decide on jazz?
I feel like I've always loved jazz. As I said, I've always enjoyed listening to jazz vocalists singing, coming up. But I love pretty much all music. It's just that jazz has been that style that has been comforting to me. It's like when you put on something, or you have those favorite shoes that you like to wear. It's like you can wear different shoes, but it's like those shoes that you feel comfortable when you wear. And for me, when I sing jazz, I just have this sense of comfort.